Everyone wants to know the secret to money and building wealth. This video will go over the 7 cures for a lean purse, as presented in the classic book, The Richest Man in Babylon. Before we begin, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. As always, if you have any feedback, questions, or suggestions, please comment below. Your support is appreciated. The Richest Man in Babylon was published in 1926 by George S. Clason. The content of the book began from a series of pamphlets distributed by banks and insurance companies in the early 20s. The book itself is a classic of personal finance, and is still relevant today. The book provides financial advice through a collection of parables, set 4,000 years ago in ancient Babylon. The parables are told by a fictional character named Arcad, who began as a poor scribe but eventually became the richest man in Babylon. The first story revolves around the 7 cures. Arcad has been persuaded by the king to teach others the secrets of his wealth, as he wishes for Babylon to be known as the wealthiest city in the world. Arcad lays out the cures for a lean purse, or put another way, how to generate money and wealth. Let's go through each of those in detail. The first cure, as described by Arcad, is to start thy purse to fattening. He states, "For every 10 coins thou placest within thy purse, take out for use but 9. Thy purse will start to fatten at once, and its increasing weight will feel good in thy hand, and bring satisfaction to thy soul." Out of all of the principles, this is the most important and is foundational. It is advised to save at least 10% of your annual income. I strongly recommend doing this first and automatically. You can set up automatic contributions to a retirement plan and savings account. Once you do this, you will get used to living without that money very quickly. Once you start saving, the second cure Arcad describes is control thy expenditures. He says what each of us calls our necessary expenses will always grow to equal our incomes unless we protest to the contrary. Confuse not the necessary expenses with thy desires. Study thoughtfully thy accustomed habits of living. This tenet requires discipline, but is really important. You have to understand where your money is going and have goals to align to. You should track and categorize all of your expenses. I plan to cover budgeting concepts and techniques in later videos in more detail. Finally, an easy way to increase your savings and investments over time is to wisely allocate future salary increases. Take a portion of every raise you get and allocate it toward your investments. For example, if you get a 5% raise, consider automatically shifting 3% of that increase to your savings. The third cure is to make thy gold multiply, which Arcad states as, learn to make your treasure work for you. Make it your slave. Make its children and its children's children work for you. This is the key secret to long-term wealth, and that is achieving compounded return. The analogy used in the book of having coins that have children, each of which has more children and so on, is a great one. Achieving compounded return can be done in any number of ways. Some popular methods include stocks, dividends, bonds, loans, and real estate. The right investment choices depend on your financial situation, including age, needs, and risk tolerance. It is never too late to get started, and the earlier you start, the better. The fourth cure is guard thy treasures from loss. Arcad states, gold in a man's purse must be guarded with firmness, else it be lost. Study carefully, before parting with thy treasure. Be not misled by thine own romantic desires to make wealth rapidly. Be wary of get-rich-quick schemes. Trust your gut, if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. The more you build wealth, the more abundant these options appear. You will need to learn to say no more than yes, including to yourself. The best investment advice I can give people is to only invest in what you understand. If you cannot explain how the investment works and why you think it will grow, then stay away. Finally, some level of diversification can also protect you from losses. Just be careful not to over-diversify. I typically recommend choosing a handful of investments you understand and can focus on. The fifth cure is to make of thy dwelling a profitable investment. Arcad says, I recommend that every man own the roof that sheltereth him and his. Nor is it beyond the ability of any well-intentioned man to own his home. When the house be built, thou canst pay the money lender with the same regularity as thou didst pay the landlord. Owning a home has several advantages over renting, and is something I recommend for most people if possible. This is especially true right now with mortgage interest rates at all-time lows. Owning a home gives you an asset that will hold, and likely appreciate over time. Also, in the US, the tax code favors homeowners by providing additional write-offs and credits. The one caution I have with owning a home is that it is easy to overspend. Remember other expenses beyond your mortgage, such as taxes and upkeep costs. Go back to your budget and use that to guide your home purchase. The sixth cure is to ensure a future income. Our code says that it behooves a man to make preparations for a suitable income in the days to come, when he is no longer young, and to make preparations for his family should he be no longer with them to comfort and support them. There are several forms of insurance you should have on your investments and income. The first is an emergency fund suitable to handle life's unexpected surprises. This shouldn't be unnecessarily large, but must be liquid. See my companion video, linked in the description, for how to create and manage an emergency fund. The most important things to consider for this cure are your retirement savings and your insurance policies. For retirement, you should take advantage of any employer-provided benefits you can get. Try to put money into a Roth IRA and/or a Roth 401k to take advantage of the tax savings. For insurance, it is important to have the right amount and types of insurance. You need homeowners insurance to protect one of your most valuable investments, your home. And you may need to consider term life insurance to protect your family. There are a lot of things to consider here that I plan to cover in detail in future videos. The seventh and final cure is to increase thy ability to earn. Our code says, the more of wisdom we know, the more we may earn. That man who seeks to learn more of his craft shall be richly rewarded. Stay humble and realize there is always more that you do not know than that you know. Stay hungry to learn, and of course, subscribe to this channel and notifications for a constant flow of new material. By following the 7 cures, anyone can be financially successful. Although they sound simple, it will take time, discipline, and effort to follow them. First, you must start saving so that you can invest. Second, you must control your expenditures to create and maintain a surplus of money. Third, you will need to invest your savings wisely, compounding your returns over time. Fourth, you must protect your savings and investments from loss, balancing risk and reward. Fifth, you should strive to own property, especially your home. Sixth, you should ensure your investments are available later in life and for your family. Lastly, you need to continue to invest in learning, both for your financial and general education. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know your feedback below and subscribe to the channel for continued content. Have a great day.